Hey guys, welcome back to New 9 Golf, where we review all things golf related. If you're new to the channel, make sure you hit the subscribe button, as well turn on post notifications so you can see the new content that we are uploading for you guys. As you can see, I'm wearing my Justin Thomas inspired 2K21 quarter zip, and we're gonna dive into the gameplay. We're gonna be playing on an Xbox One, and it's the exact same gameplay on a PlayStation. So now let's take a look at our review of PGA Tour 2K21. Okay everyone, welcome to PGA Tour 2K21. Justin Thomas with the cover, great looking shot there. One of the impressions that I had in getting the PGA Tour 2K21 is I thought we'd be able to play with PGA Tour golfers. I figured Justin Thomas on the cover, we'd get to use guys like Rory and DJ and Brooks. Not the case. When you get into 2K21, it asks you to make your own player. So when you go into make your own player, you make your own avatar. So if you want it to look like yourself or look like something totally outlandish, this is what my guy looks like. So this is my avatar. I went with something that I hope tried to look a little bit like me. I maybe made it in 10 minutes, didn't try too hard. This is my guy. So when you are playing in the game, you are going to be using your own avatar. So that's one of the first things. I was a little bummed out that I didn't get to be, obviously my favorite PGA Tour golfers. You can get in and change your skin tone, you can change your body build, your height, your width, all that type of stuff. So not gonna dive too big into that. Something I will show you is how to buy clothing. You can see in the top right of my corner, there is a little money sign. So that is the money you're allowed to use to buy clothes and equipment. So we'll take a quick look at clothing just so I could show you what I'm talking about. Let's say I wanted to buy a new hat. Currently I have a Bridgestone hat, but there is, shout out to our guys at Malbon. Stephen Malbon was obviously on our podcast, and he has his clothing inside the game. So if I wanted this Malbon hat, for example, it will tell me how much it costs and if it's unlocked. So I can scroll through, take a look at the hat, see if it's something that I want to purchase. And if, that one matches my outfit right now, it's 250 coin, I got the cash for it, it's unlocked, I'm going to purchase and equip. So you can do this with your shirt, your shorts, your pants, your shoes, all that good stuff. So just to give you an idea, that's what you're looking at when starting to build your avatar. All right, one of the other things that you're going to be buying with the money is you're going to assemble your golf bag. So you start out with kind of a no-name set of clubs. Since I've been playing, you can see I have the Callaway Maverick driver. I got a TaylorMade Sim 3 wood, Callaway hybrids, and then some generic irons. What you'll notice when you're going to be buying these clubs, they're either unlocked or locked, and it'll show you on the right-hand side of the screen what you're gaining or losing by getting these clubs. So red obviously means you're losing some. So for this iron, for example, the distance, it says if I purchase these clubs, I'm going to be losing a bit of distance, but I'm gaining some shot shaping and gaining some forgiveness. So you'll have to take a look at all the clubs that they offer and see what's best for your game. Obviously, the more that you play, the more money you make, and you'll start unlocking some more clubs. Okay, so once you're done building your avatar, you're pretty well set to start playing. So as we go through the main home screen, there's the Play Now function, which shows you can start building some local matches. If you want to just play, say, you and a buddy, you can both play, but you're using your own avatar. So like I mentioned, you're not using any PGA Tour golfers. Before you get into playing around, I highly suggest getting into the training section and doing a club calibration. What that's going to do is the game is going to get an understanding of how you move the joystick on your controller. We are using an Xbox One, but it'll be the same for the PlayStation. So I'm going to go into the training just so I can show you what the swing calibration looks like. There's our boy Kevin Kisner having a pretty decent season, just lost in a playoff just last week if you're following the PGA Tour. Once we get into the swing calibration, there's other practices that you're going to do, but I'm going to just show you the driving range and how we're swinging and how that looks. All right, we are on the driving range and we're going to go straight to swing calibration. There's Bryson. It looks a little thinner than current day Bryson. I think he's gained 30 pounds since then. So we're on the driving range. It wants 10 full swings. I'm not going to go all 10, but I'm just going to show you what it's looking for. So I use my left joystick to control the club. The idea is you want to bring it back to that little white line and then swing forward, and the club will react accordingly. What this is doing, it's just telling the system how you swing your club so it's not too finicky once you get onto the course. Once you get into the red, that is just more power. It's going to give you, it'll show you on the screen maybe 1 or 2% extra power. Like I said, I'm not going to do all full 10 swings, but before you get on the course, I highly recommend doing the swing calibration. Okay, now that we've done the swing calibration, I'm still on the practice that if I wanted to go into chipping, putting, and driving, I could do all three. I'm just going to go to the driving range just to show you some of the things that you can learn before you head out onto the course. So we've already done the swing calibration. If I do a full swing, hopefully it will go fairly straight. One of the things that you're going to want to learn is how to draw and fade the ball, that it will show you here. So what I'm doing right now is I'm holding down my left bumper and I'm moving my left joystick, which is what I swing with, from left to right. That's what's going to start the draw or the fade, and then I swing straight up and down as I would when I was doing my calibration, and it should fade or draw the ball, whichever you're setting up for. Okay, we've moved our practice from the driving range now to the chipping area. Chipping I find to be probably one of the hardest parts of learning this game because there's a lot of factors you have to account for. On the top right of my screen, it'll show that I'm in the heavy rough. So the heavy rough, obviously, the ball comes out different as if you were on a nice tight lie in the middle of the fairway. What's nice about this game is it picks the club that you're most likely to hit as well as the type of shot. So you can see I have my lob wedge and it shows that I'm doing a pitch. The way if I wanted to change my shot is just using left or right on the D-pad. That if I wanted to do a flop, you can see where the flop is supposed to come out, as well normal shot and a chip. So it automatically gives you the type of shot that you are best or most likely to use. All right, it recommends this lob pitch shot, and I'm aimed at the hole. The idea, again, to take it back to that white line and swing forward. Just scared the hole. That was actually pretty decent. I was hoping to hole it for my first try. Like I said, we are in the practice area, so it's going to give us a few different places to try. You can see on the circle that there's an arrow. So what I found in the game is that, you know, if you're trying to make the shot, you can see the green, the way it breaks. So this green has no break. Normally if it was breaking left to right, the lines horizontal would be moving fast or slow depending on the speed of the green. I'm expecting the ball to release, and I'm lining up that arrow with the hole. So hopefully if I have a good chip, it should release towards where we were aiming. Like I said, there are different types of shots. If you want to play around with here and change your club, you can obviously do, let's say I wanted to try a chip shot. Okay, let's say I wanted to try a chip shot. Obviously the 9-iron, that's not going to release all the way to that hole. I can go up and down on the D-pad, and that is what's going to change my club. Okay, last up is the putting practice. So if you played any golf games before, you're used to the grid that is on the green. That's going to help you read your putts. The horizontal lines moving left to right is showing you the break, and the vertical lines are showing you if it's uphill or downhill. Now, what I found with this game is most of the time it will get the speed right. You're more or less just having to aim left or right with the hole. For whatever reason, it's aimed a 90-foot putt for us to start. Let's just swing, hit the white line, and see how the ball releases. Not bad. So we've practiced our driving, chipping, and putting. Now let's take it to the course and see if we can put all three together. So the reason why I started this video in the practicing or the training area is because you want to practice a bit just to take that to the course. You're going to start having more fun. I skipped all of that. I went right to playing a society game against my friends, and I sucked. Like, these guys were shooting 10, 15 under par, and I was barely lucky to break 100. It's so frustrating if you're not used to the controls and how the club releases that you definitely want to get into the training and just play around a little bit just so you get a feel for the game. We're going to hop into our PGA Tour career and we'll play a couple holes just so you can see how the gameplay works. All right, so it looks like the next event up is the Tall Palms Classic at the Jumeirah Club. The game does have a lot of well-known courses, but it doesn't have some of the ones that I was really hoping to play. For example, it doesn't have Augusta. So there are a handful of clubs that you are going to be missing out on, but it does have some familiar clubs. For example, it has TPC Scottsdale, it has Riviera, it has TPC Sawgrass. So there definitely are some courses that the PGA Tour does play, but there are some major venues that it doesn't. I'm not sure what the deal is with the licensing or those types of things, but at least you're not playing totally non-known courses, that it still gives you a taste of playing on the PGA Tour. Now, what I do find in playing this game is that the graphics aren't as good as I was anticipating. There are some good motion graphics and some good animations within the player itself, but I just find for it being 2020 on the Xbox One that there definitely could be some upgrades to the visuals of the golfer and the golf course.
Thanks, Luke. So pleased to be here at the Jumeirah Club today, and what a way to start your day with this long par 4 staring deep into the downtown area.
Now, I find one of the biggest key factors you have to be looking at when playing this game is the wind. The wind plays such a huge role in playing this game. I have the settings on the hardest that it could go, just because I've been playing some easier rounds and the society that I play on is on the hardest settings. So I wanted to make sure that, you know, when I'm practicing in these rounds, getting ready for the society match, that I am playing on the most similar settings to what I'm looking at in the game. All right, we obviously misread that chip, so we're going to try to get up and down and maybe say bogey.
This one just outside 7 feet to the hole. That's well holed. Sitting at 1 over for the event.
Yeah, a bit of a rocky start, but let's face it, 17 holes left to play, Luke. There's lots of times to make up for that mistake.
Opting for the 6-iron.
Get in the hole.
Should find the green here.
So in my experience so far playing the PGA Tour events, the first opening holes of the this classic that we're playing are very visually appealing. I was kind of ripping on the game earlier for not having the greatest graphics, but I find that this course specifically is a little bit more pleasing than some of the other courses I have been playing. So I'm going to purposely miss-hit one just so I can show you some of the bad breaks that you're going to get in this game. We'll throw one totally far to the right and just see what happens. So it tells you right away we had a big push. So it's telling me, you know, what I did wrong and to try to help make it better. That'll help you out throughout the round if you figure out, you know, why do I keep pushing it? Why do I keep pulling it? That the game will give you some feedback and to try to help you play better.
It's just gnarly in there.
So now, like I mentioned, we are in that heavy rough. You can see in the top right of the screen what my lie looks like. It's aiming me right at the hole, but chances are, because I'm in the rough, it's not going to quite go there. Let's just see how that works.
Looks to be going with the 6-iron.
Oh, I was wrong. So this is one of the things that I do find frustrating with the game is sometimes it'll aim you out of those weird lies like the heavy rough and it will land there, or it will come up like 5 or 6 clubs short. I don't know if that's a glitch within the system or if it's really dependent on the lie, but I have found within the game that I get some of those weird breaks that I start to second guess myself that, oh, you know, I am aimed at the pin, but I'm calculating for the heavy rough. I should go up 1 or 2 clubs, and it just, it's frustrating. One of the things that it does show is it shows your playing competitors who you're playing with. So there we just saw Kuchar dunk a shot, and every time they show someone like this, they're either chipping it in or chipping it and hitting the pin and it stays there. So as far as a variety goes, watching those shots, the first one's cool, the second one's cool, but when you play 18 holes and they show 15 chip-ins, it just seems like a lack of creativity on the creator's end. Okay, we're going to tap in, and now you can see the gameplay of playing 2K21. Overall, it is a pretty fun game. Like I mentioned, if I am being overcritical, some of the graphics could be better. It's cool to see the live leaderboard like you see there, so you can see who you're competing against and how those players are doing. It really makes you feel like you are playing on the PGA Tour. Overall, it is a very fun game. It can get competitive, and you can lose a couple hours of your day just playing in your season mode or playing on the societies. Anywhere that you're playing, it definitely is a fun game. So in overall reviewing this, I think it's definitely a a wicked buy. Unfortunately for us golfers, it is a very limited market for what's available to play on any type of console, but I think overall that they've kind of combined a lot of the previous games that we've learned to love and enjoy, and they are putting it obviously on the most recent console. One thing that they did bring back is the Tiger Vision. So a couple times throughout your round, you are allowed to have your putt preview. So I hold the A button and it's going to show me where I'm aimed, where the ball's going. So I saw a little bit of break, wasn't sure if it is breaking or not. It does confirm it's a straight putt, and we made the putt. It's great for those putts that you have for eagle or a long birdie, that to get a better score, it's worth using that putt preview, especially if you're not confident in the read of your putt. Okay, in wrapping up our review of the PGA Tour 2K21, overall it is a very fun game. The only thing I was disappointed with is that you can't use PGA Tour players. That's what I used to love about the old Tiger Woods games, is that you could use Tiger because he had so much power and accuracy, and you get to decide, you know, do you want strength and distance, or do you want control and short game? That's kind of the only bummer, that you can't use PGA Tour players. I mentioned the societies. That's pretty cool, that if you have a group of friends, you can join in there. There's the golf page I mentioned, the golf page Buy Sell Trade Canada, that I could take a look in there, and whoever's running this page has an event every couple days, so I can take a look at the event. Right now there's no events, we just played our last one, but it's just another fun way just to see your friends that are playing and how well these guys are shooting. I just played a tournament and I think the leading score was like 60 under par. So you can see how good some guys are, and then you can see that, you know, make fun of your friends that are shooting 120. So overall, I thought it was a great game. I think it's a good pickup. I just picked it up on sale. You know, in my opinion, I think a sale purchase is better than paying the full $70 for this. I think I got it at half price at $35. To me, that's a great, not investment, but, you know, to kill time, to play video games, and to play some golf for us who aren't as lucky, that are suffering through winter. I think the PGA Tour 2K21 is a lot of fun and worth picking up. Okay guys, in wrapping up that video, I think PGA Tour 2K21 is a great buy. It's a lot of fun to play, and it brings back a lot of the memories of playing PGA Tour Tiger Woods back in the olden days, that I think there's a lot of similar gameplay, and it's a lot of fun building your own avatar and playing and competing against current PGA Tour pros. I think it's a great buy, and I definitely give it the new 9 Golf stamp of approval. Thanks again for watching. Support your local golf community where you can, and we'll check in with you next time.